We're going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully you've got your mat nearby, maybe some water, and any props that you would like for practice. So as you've seen by now, all of the money that you will donate for today's class is going to go to the SOS Children's Villages. It's a residential foster care neighborhood right here in South Florida. So if you would like to go on bocafitnesswear.com, thank you so much to Lori Schuster for making this happen. I love their leggings. I think I have, what, Lori, like 6-7 pairs, including these that I'm wearing today. And also Mindy's Munchies right here in Boca Raton. They're going to both be donating 10% of whatever you purchase right to SOS Villages. So our theme today is about coming together. I mean, how many of us are getting sucked in right now to some of this like negativity and two sides, if not more? And in order for all of us to rise, we have to come together. And we're going to feel better when we do this. It's all about giving back, and that's why this live event is happening in the first place today. So I just saw this quote pop up, and I was like, this is it for our class. Individually, we are one drop, and together, we are the ocean. Right? So let's come together, shall we? All right, so this is an all levels class. If you've watched the replay, that's all good. You can find a comfortable seat. We're in this together. Close the eyes. Draw your shoulders up by your ears. Take them back, take them down. Feel your collarbones broaden. And let's connect our thumb and pointer finger today for our chin mudra. It's an energy lock. And just start to observe your breathing. Not trying to manipulate or change it, but just see what's happening. Your yoga is beginning right now, before we move, before we flow. Connecting the mind, your body, your breath. So as you bring your hands into heart center, bow your chin to your fingertips. And here, let's go ahead and find intention. This could be something that you're working on physically, like I'm trying to get through the whole class. This could be a way you want to feel after you roll out your mat. Perhaps a dedication of this practice to our front workers, someone you know who's fighting right now, someone you know who could use a little bit extra encouragement or love. What brings you here? When you're ready, open the eyes. Send these prayer hands all the way up to the heavens above you. Open the palms now. And then exhale, take the arms by your side. Do it 2 more times, just sinking breath. Inhale, arms reach. Look up towards your fingers. And as you exhale, pushing all fear and negativity away. Good. Inhale, draw in love, abundance, and health. And exhale, letting go of whatever is different, whatever is not serving you. Whatever is ready to be in your past. Good. Keep your right fingers on the ground. Reach that left arm up. Take the bicep over the ear. Nice side body stretch. If you want a little more, crawl your fingertips out to the right. Start to bend that elbow. Maybe the forearm touches down. Maybe you gaze underneath your left elbow. Keep rooting the sits bone down. And then slowly come up. Now take the left fingers right above the right ear and just take a neck stretch. So your left ear goes to that left shoulder. You're going to feel it in the right side of your neck. And then you can tuck that chin towards the shoulder or reach it back up. And then release. Let's try side 2. So that left arm comes out to the side. Right arm reaches up. Bicep over the ear. Side body stretch. So level 1, we're hanging out here. It feels good. Level 2, soften that left elbow. Maybe get a little more bend in the side waist. Maybe come onto forearm. Level 3, take a peek under that right elbow and just feel the awakening happening. Good, now slowly stack the spine, right fingertips just above left ear. Take that right ear towards right shoulder. Feel it in the left side of your neck. Again, you can tuck chin down towards that shoulder. You can lift chin, opening that throat chakra up to the sky, and then gently release. Okay, so for those of us that came in cross-legged, let's go ahead and switch. So if your right shin is in front, now your left one is. If you're in half lotus, if you're in hero's pose, you can just stay. And now we're just gonna fold forward. So walk your fingertips forward. Melt that belly, melt the chest, and just see what's happening in the low back and the outer hips. Maybe you make a little pillow for your forehead. And let's walk our arms over to the right side. Discover what's going on the left side. Good. Back to center, over to the left, and just melt it here. And then one last time, back to center. Start to walk yourself in. And let's find our child's pose. It's always nice to start this way because you know you can come here at any point. Big toes together, knees mat width distance apart, arms reach forward. Melt that forehead down. And again, just connect within. Calm that central nervous system. Assure yourself you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I got a lot of messages that, oh no, 1 p.m. doesn't work for me, but guess what? You turn the video on, you are still a part of this experience. Now from here, we're gonna thread the needle. So take your right palm face up and you're gonna thread that right arm all the way under the left. Right ear comes down, left arm could stay, or you could take a half bind. Wrapping it behind your low back, maybe reach for your right hip. And then we're going to unravel that and thread left arm through. So palm is facing up, shoulder pulls down away from ear, left ear comes down. You could stay or take right arm behind your low back. So you reach for your left hip pocket. This is going to pull the right shoulder head back, getting a little deeper. Good. Slowly release. Finding tabletop position next. All fours. Take a peek between your legs and make sure the tops of your feet line up with the shin bones. And we'll take a couple dancing lion here. So just taking some circles. It's like the hips come back like child's and then forward almost like an up dog. And just go in a nice circle. You can involve your head and your neck and the shoulders. And in the privacy of our own homes, we don't care what we look like. It's only about what we feel. Once you do 3, just reverse, close your eyes, get really into it. You'll feel some adjustments happening, right? The connective tissue starts to expand, the joint starts to open. It's almost like the range of motion increases. And then find stillness in your tabletop position. From here, let's tuck our toes, float your knees an inch off the mat. You're gonna feel your transverse abdominals, those deep tummy muscles engage. Beautiful. Start to lift your hips, pushing back into down dog. Take it for a walk. It's the first one. Bend your right knee, feel the stretch in the left, and just go back and forth. Don't make it like a sprint, right? We're going nice and slow. I always like to shake the head out, no, and yes. And then for alignment purposes, let's just shift forward into plank upper push-up position. Spread the fingers nice and wide. So if you had to slide your hands forward, that's okay. Just glue them where they are now. Keep your feet where they are now. And just lift your hips. You'll pull back to dog. So this is alignment, right? So the heels never have to touch down. We use the direction as a cue so the energy can travel. You hollow out the armpits. Press the chest back towards those thighs. And now look to the top of your mat. We're going to bring our feet to the hands nice and slow. So you can keep your knees bent, tippy toe your feet. Once you come to the top of the mat, have maybe 2 fists between the big toes. And then you can just hang here, let your arms relax like noodles. If you like a little traction, go in for opposite elbows and you could sway. It's kind of nice here. It gives you a little traction on the lower part of your back. Relax your jaw here. Good. Find stillness. Keep your left hand on the ground. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Bend your left knee and start to turn the chest to the right. Maybe reach that right arm up. Just discover the side body again. Good. Right hand replaces the left. Bend your right knee, left hand, left hip. You can just turn the torso or reach the left arm up. Good. Slowly release. Now both knees will remain soft as one vertebra at a time. You unfurl the spine, shoulders, neck, head. Beautiful. Big toes together. We're at the top of the mat, mountain pose. Start to engage that Ujjayi breath if you haven't already. In and out through the nose, victorious breath creating heat. So your Namaskar A on an inhale, arms reach out and up. Look up towards your fingers. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come all the way down to the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold in, step back, plank pose. So we've been here, now we're gonna hold just 3 breaths. Really put some weight in that inner thumb and both of your hands spread out. Take one more breath. On the exhale, we'll lower to the belly. So Chaturanga arms mean elbows nice and narrow as you lower down. Release the tops of your feet, cobra pose. So your hands are in line with your chest, elbows draw in, lift your chest. Really push into the tops of your feet, including your pinky toe. And then exhale, release your forehead. So now you can do that again or take up dog where you push into your hands, lift your thighs. Only things touching here, tops of the feet. Little deeper back bend. One feels better, choose that one. And then we're gonna meet in down dog. So every time we come here, it becomes a little more familiar. It starts off as a resting pose. Little active here. You can always drop to your knees. On an inhale, right leg reaches up and back, open, bend, and stretch. Rotate that ankle, take some circles with the knee, whatever feels good. And then square that hip off, extend the leg back, bend the knee, look forward. Right foot's gonna step to the right hand, low crescent lunge. So you're gonna release your back knee down. Walk your hands up that right thigh, peel the torso back, and just start to awaken the hip flexor. Maybe arms reach up. Maybe a little back bend, so a cactus arm. Squeeze the scapula, open the heart. You could stay here or interlace your fingers. I like to run the knuckles down that back leg to open that heart chakra. Good. Both hands are gonna come to the inside of the right foot, heel to the right foot to the edge of your mat. You could stay here for your lizard. You can come to the forearms. Just keep it easy. We're still warming up the body before we get into any of our lunges and squats. If you want to add in your twist, left hand to the right ankle, right hand to the thigh. Take a peek over that right shoulder. If you want to add in quad stretch, you can bend your back leg back towards you and then reach for that foot or heel. Draw it in towards the glute. There you go. And smile. We're not here too much longer. Good. Slowly rewind all that. Tuck your left toes. Step your right foot back to meet the left. And then Chaturanga, halfway or all the way. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, lead with the core center, down dog. Left leg rises, open, bend, and stretch. So good. Again, maybe you rotate that ankle. Maybe you take some circles. And then square the hip. Extend the left leg back. So flex that foot. Look forward. Left knee comes through to your nose. Maybe give it a smooch. And then gently step it forward. Right knee releases. Top of the right foot comes down. So my level ones, we're just hanging out here. Hands on that thigh. Open the hip flexor. Level 2, arms reach up. All right, you can take that cactus. Level 3 or interlace fingers. Knuckles run down the back leg. Add in back bend. Add in a little shoulder work. What do you need today? It's just you and your mat. It's a nice date. And with me too. And then release that. Hands inside the left foot. Heel to your left foot to the edge of the mat. You could stay here. You can come down to forearms. So I like to lead with the heart when I first come in instead of rounding so much. Right? Keep projecting energy forward. And then you could stay or add in twist. Right hand, left ankle. Left hand to the thigh. If you want to bend your back leg, left hand reaches back. Open up for twisted monkey. To release, hands down. We have to tuck the right toes to lift the right knee. And then we step back, Chaturanga, halfway or all the way down. Inhale, back bend of choice. Really roll the inner ankle in, good. And then exhale, down dog. Deep breath in, open mouth, exhale. Ha, are we starting to get warm? A little bit. And then look to the front of your mat, bring your big toes together to touch. You could take the baby steps, you could lunge, or you could walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold it in. Reverse swan. So the arms are gonna reach out as we come up with a flat back and rise. Exhale, arms by your side. Good, chair pose, Utkatasana. We're gonna hold 5 breaths. So really sink those hips back. Can you see all 10 of your toes? Maybe lift them up and reroot. And then draw the pit of your belly up and in. Reach the arms a little higher, but sink the hips a little lower. Final inhale. Exhale, hallelujah. Let it go. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, root the hands. You could step or jump back. And then Chaturanga all the way or halfway. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right foot's gonna step forward, warrior 1. Left foot pivots flat 45 degrees, right knee over right ankle. Arms are gonna reach up, 5 breaths here. So just calm that central nervous system, check in. Know that you have everything in front of you, within you. Just smoothing out the breath. Take one more inhale, light up your fingers, really shine them bright. And then exhale, flow it out. Step back. Lower halfway, all the way. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot steps forward. Right foot pivots flat. Warrior 1. So feel your footing. This is the foundational work. Right hip comes forward so the hips are parallel towards the front of whatever you're looking at. Arms extend. So the pinky finger through the hip, everything is lifting up, spreading energy through all directions. Final inhale, bend into that left knee a little more. Exhale, hands now frame left foot. Step back, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths here. Feeling your heart rate. You are alive and it is good. All is well. Even if you catch just one glimpse of normalcy, of joy, then this practice is worth it. Take one more inhale. Exhale, push it back. Bring your toes together, look forward, and lightly bring your feet to your hands your way. Inhale, flat back and lengthen. Exhale, fold it in, chair pose, 1 breath. Inhale, arms reach. And then come to stand, release the arms. Excellent work. Let's interlace our fingers behind the back. Feet will end up about hips distance apart. Inhale, open that chest. Exhale, hinge forward. So the crown of the head lowers to the ground. Knees can be soft here as arms reach overhead. The palms may stay together or separate. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then once you have this, you can start to lift the sitting bones, straightening out the legs. Notice if you're heavy in the heels, can you transfer weight into the balls of your feet, into all 10 toes? Beautiful. Now slowly release your arms, open your toes out, keep your heels in, and we're gonna find a garland squat. So we all look different in this position. Some of our heels elevate. Some of us prefer to sit on the block. But I want you to think about the spine long. So if you're hinged forward, see if you can lift. Now, you can take your right hand inside the right leg and you could reach the left arm open. Some of you like to look down towards the right fingertips. You can look up to the left hand, maybe half bind, left arm behind your back. And then the right arm could reach around for full bind, pulling the left shoulder open. So we're in the hips, but also adding in a twist in shoulders. Good. And then let's release that, hands back to heart center, and let's try the other side. So left fingertips come down. It's like a kickstand. The shoulder's in front of that knee. Right arm can reach up again. If the neck bothers you, look down towards your left fingers. Otherwise, dressies to the right hand. Turn the palm away from you. Bend the elbow, half it. Or full bind, left arm wraps around. You can grab the wrist or your fingers. Right shoulder draws back. How's your breathing? Smooth it out. And then release. Forward fold. It should feel good. Toes point forward. And just hang heavy. Shake your head. Yes, I'm okay. No fear is going to come over me. I am getting out of that. You can even tap your head, like let go of the fear. And then let's try to fly into crow, okay? So bring your toes together. Knees are going to open out nice and wide. You're going to root your hands and think of a chaturanga arm. So the eyes of the elbow crease are forward. You bend your elbows. Lean your body weight forward, and maybe you lift one leg as the knees hug the triceps. And maybe today's the day where you float both toes to touch. And even if you get it for a millisecond, I'll count it, okay? It's about trust and moving out of our own way and knowing that we are better together. Take one more breath, and then we're gonna meet back in Chaturanga or down dog. So you can optional vinyasa at this point throughout the rest of the class, or you can just take that down dog. Deep breath in, open mouth, sigh. Ah. Good. Shift forward into plank. We're going to lower to the belly. So nice and slow. A little bit of back bending comes next. Release the tops of your feet. Make a little pillow for your head by crossing each hand on top of the other. And then let's lift our left leg back and our right arm forward. Good. Release. Now left arm forward, right leg back. I've got a bed here, that's why I'm kind of falling into something. Good, now release that. Now interlace both of your hands behind your back. And we're gonna come into a back bend by lifting the chest and arms. Now see if you can elevate your feet off the ground too. Shalabhasana. Where you look is where you go. One more inhale. And then exhale, take your right ear cheek to the mat, look left, big toes together. Good. Root your hands under your chest. Tuck your toes. Reverse plank or come back to table. Meet in down dog. Relax your jaw. Notice how you feel. On an inhale, right leg reaches up and back. You're going to step it through for warrior two. So your right foot comes between your hands. The left foot pivots flat. And the left arm is going to draw you out and up. So we did our garland squat to kind of start to open the hips. So we have external rotation here. Your gaze is out over that right middle finger. Lower belly is drawing up and in. And then we're going to take reverse. So your right palm faces up. Left arm reaches down the back leg. You can take that right bicep over ear. All the while that right knee still tracks forward. You could stay here. You could float the left arm behind you like you have a beach ball between your hands. Work that oblique a little bit. And then back to warrior two. Leg position is identical to what it is now. We just take the forearm on the thigh and then reach the left arm over ear. You can lower your right hand to a block or to the ground as well. You could even take a bind, wrapping left arm behind your back, reach for your right hip. Maybe this right arm wraps underneath. Pull the left shoulder back and breathe. Okay, into half moon. So your left hand can come to your left hip. Your right hand's gonna come just outside the foot, maybe 6 or 8 inches. Transfer the weight into the standing right leg. Lift your left leg off the mat. And then maybe reach that left arm up. Good. If you can, you look up to the left hand. If it's hard, keep looking down towards your right big toe. If you want to add in the bind here, bend your left foot and see if you can draw for that ankle. All those quad stretches start to help out. To come out, look down, bend your right knee, let your left arm pick you back up so you're in warrior two again, and then straighten your front leg. It should feel good. Bring your back foot in one time, so it's slightly shorter stance. Reverse triangle now. So left arm down the back leg, right arm reaches over ear. So you feel the elongation happening in the right side of the body. Good. Now Trikonasana, triangle. So keep your legs straight as you reach your arms as far as they can go. Right hand eventually can come down to the shin or a block, maybe the big toe. Left arm could reach up, stacking shoulders, or you could take bicep over the ear for Utthita Trikonasana. So same thing here. We have heel to arch alignment. Legs are straight. If you want to add in that oblique, right arm reaches forward. Oh yeah. How's the breath? One more. And then come out. Look down. Left arm picks you up. Bring both hands to your hips. Pivot your right foot in. So the edges of the feet line up with the edges of your mat. Hinge from your hips, forward fold. Take a breather, releasing the hands. You can turn your fingers away from you, crawling yourself through. Let the crown of the head lower onto the ground. Beautiful. Walk the hands forward. Keep your right hand under the right shoulder, left hand to the hip. Start to turn the torso to the left. If it's too much with a flat palm, just come to a spider finger. And then reach that left arm up. Open spinal twist. Good. Let left hand come under left shoulder, right hand to right hip. Turn the torso to the right. Reach that right arm up. Crown of the head lengthens forward as the tailbone reaches back. Beautiful. Hand comes down. Both hands onto your hips, and with a flat back, we rise. Pivot your left toes forward now. Warrior two. So bend deeply into that left knee. Open the arms. Dristi is out over the left middle finger. So keep thinking about the knee pointing towards the second and third toe so that hip stays open. And breathe. And then reverse it. Left palm up. Right arm down the back leg. Bicep comes over the ear. You can half bind it, or you could float your right arm back like you're holding that beach ball between your hands. It's hard work, but you can breathe through it. Into warrior two. Side angle. Legs stay the same, right? Arm up and over ear. Left hand could stay on the thigh. You can release it to the ground, a block. Half or full bind it. Right arm behind your back. Reach for left hip. Maybe left arm comes underneath and you find the fingers. Pull the right shoulder back. Good. Half moon pose. So your left hand's going to come under the left shoulder, right hand to the hip. Transfer all the weight into the standing left leg. Flex your right leg. It's going to trick the leg like it's standing on something, and the right arm could reach up. Chapasana, bending the right knee, reach back for that foot or ankle. It's harder to look down. Actually, it's challenging to look up, so if you're feeling like you're off balance, try looking down towards the left toe. And then to release, not like a slingshot, right? With grace. We come back to warrior two. We straighten the front leg and we say thank you, ah. Heel to the back foot in one time, reverse triangle. Right arm down the back leg. Feel the side stretch on the left side now. And then full triangle. Hips go back, arms lengthen. Once you've got this space, left hand gently touches down, right arm reaches up. So we want to extend the side body, like we can shine energy in all directions. Utthita Trikonasana, take bicep over ear. It's almost like you feel one line of energy from the right pinky finger to the hip down to the toe. And then adding in the oblique, reach that left arm. Oh yeah. And then slowly release. Right arm picks you back up, hands on your hips. Now we're going to take the left foot in, but we're going to come into a goddess. So you're going to turn your feet out and you're going to drop the hips. You can bring your hands on the inner thigh. Take your right shoulder down, look left. Come back up. Take the left shoulder down, look right. And come back up. Bring your hands to heart center. Interlace all but your pointer finger and just reach up. So we're kind of pressing the hips and knees open. We're sinking the booty down, but we're growing vertically. Hands at heart center. Come all the way up, straighten the legs, hands on your hips. Pivot your front foot towards the front of the mat. Step your back foot up to meet it. Little bit of balance coming next. We're going to root into the left standing leg. We'll take the sole of the right foot inside like a kickstand for tree. You can take it to calf or above your knee on the inner thigh. You've got your half lotus. Feel free to express yourself, hands at heart center. Opening the branches. And maybe if you're not in South Florida, you can envision somewhere like Chicago where it's a windy day. It's okay. And if you want to add in maybe a little bit of play, left hand could come to your left hip and your right peace sign fingers could bind the right big toe. As you externally rotate that hip, maybe you extend it out. And then you could reach the left arm out. Just playing with variations as we grow, as we learn, as we expand. Maybe looking to the left hand. And if you fall, who cares? Eventually we close the hip. Extend the right leg, put your hands on your hips, a little bit of core work. For 3, flex your foot, lift higher. For 2 and 1. Right foot comes down, transfer the weight, go back and forth. Okay, side 2. Always different, open-minded. Kickstand, here we go. Calf, inner thigh, half lotus, right? And then we find the midline, hands at heart center. Maybe we open the branches up. If this is easy for you, try to close your eyes. When we eliminate a sense, it makes it more work on the inside. We feel a little wobbly. Right hand could come to the hip, left peace sign fingers around that big toe, external rotation in the hip. Maybe extend the leg. And if you're near something, like if you got a wall, like let your right hand touch it and then really get that extension. And then maybe you float your arms off that wall, right? Maybe looking over the right hand. Managing the fluctuations in the body and the mind. And then close the hip. Extend that left leg. Flex your foot. 3. Lift higher. 2. You can do this. Good. Release. Top of the mat. Flow it out. Inhale. Arms reach. Maybe take a back bend. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale. Lengthen halfway. Exhale, root your hands, jump, step back, your choice. Work through vinyasa, meet in down dog. And just say to yourself, I am amazing. My body is amazing, and our community is amazing. Dropping to the knees. We're going to come to a toe squat next. So bring your toes together. All 10 toes are going to try to tuck under, even that pinky toe. See if you could sit back on the heels. If it's a little extreme for you, you've got a block nearby. You can sit on top of the block. If you've got this, maybe hands on thighs. If you want to add in a little shoulders, right arm reaches up. Reach for the upper back and then take your left hand to the elbow. Give yourself a little more room. Left arm could come up to meet it. You can bind your clasped fingers, lean into that right arm. And then switch, right? So that left arm reaches up. You reach for the middle part of your back. Right hand could help the elbow. If you've got your strap or a shirt, draw the elbows to the center. Lean into that left arm. How are your feet doing? Am I distracting you a little? Good, release all that. Tap out your feet. And as long as we're down here, reminds we'll take our next back bend, which is camel. So all the cobra, the up dogs we've done, the shalabhasana has prepared us now to go a little deeper. We'll do 2 series. So first one, you can tuck your toes so your heels come up a little bit. Hands onto the low back. You're going to project your hips forward, lift your sternum, look up. Maybe right hand reaches for the right ankle and the left hand for the left. If you feel safe, you can drop the head back, opening the throat. To release, hands on the low back, slowly come up, bring the tops of your feet together, and then slowly sit back on your heels. Take your dominant hand on your lap and your passive hand on top. Connect your thumbs. Just close your eyes for a moment. We'll take our counter stretch after number 2. Okay, open the eyes. Number 2. So you can use the toes tucked again. If you've got your blocks nearby, sometimes it's nice to put them on the vertical portion so you can reach back. If you feel like you want to go the next level, keep the tops of your feet on the mat. Same thing, hands on hips, push them forward. Shoulders squeeze together, chest broadens, gaze is up. One or both hands reach back. If you want to do one at a time, you could always reach left arm up and then switch left hand down, right arm. Eventually, both come back. Keep lifting your heart. Open the whole front of your body. Little bit of vulnerability, but we know we're safe. When you're ready to release, tuck that chin, hands on your back. Now we'll counter it off. Sit back on the heels. Your hands could reach back for the feet. You're going to tuck your chin and come to a modified child's pose, bringing the forehead down towards the knees. You could stay here, lift for rabbit pose, come onto the crown of your head, push into the tops of your feet, and lift the hips, lift the sits bones. And then slowly come back. So from here, we're going to try to find a hero's pose. So you can open your feet, and if you've got something to sit on, maybe a pillow, a bolster, a block, you can lean back and sit onto it. Otherwise, try to separate your feet so that you can sit right in between them. You can bring your hands behind you, lean back just a little bit. You're going to feel this stretch igniting the quads. After the warrior lunges, right, it's nice to stretch them out. You can also put something behind you, and maybe you can start to lean back onto that. Otherwise, you don't even need anything. Maybe you come all the way down. You can let your arms reach overhead, maybe grab opposite elbows, just 3 breaths. Once you come down, there's a natural arch in the low back. It's like I could slide my forearm underneath it. And again, after all the forward folds, the twists, it's nice to just open that front body. And it doesn't matter if you're in the first option seated on a block or if you're lying back. As long as you're feeling the stretch, you're releasing the muscle, you'll get every benefit. So although we could stay here for a little longer, for time purposes, I'm going to bring you up. And then slowly just lean over to the left. Extend both legs. Ooh, those knees were bent for a while. Windshield wiper the feet, point and flex your toes. And then let's find staff pose, Dandasana. So move any flesh from the sits bones away. Legs glue together, feet are flexed. Hands come down by the side, right under the shoulders. Chin is parallel to the ground. And then inhale, arms are gonna reach up, find that extension. Hinge from your hips, and with your hands, reach anywhere they can grab. It doesn't matter if you touch your toes. If you've got your strap nearby, maybe hook it around your balls of your feet. You can pull yourself through. So what's nice about having the ground underneath you, your ankles, knees, and hips are all in the same plane. So the alignment's there. Beautiful. Slowly come back up. Go ahead, bend your right knee. Take the sole of the right foot inside left thigh. Inhale, arms reach. Janu Shusasana A, hinge forward. Again, use your strap, reach for the foot. If this is easy for you, cross your wrists, and that way you can bend your elbows and pull yourself in deeper. Good. Start to walk yourself up. Close right knee, extend right leg. Same thing left side. So it's almost like a tree pose on the ground. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge. A lot of the poses we do in yoga will mirror other ones. Cross at the wrist, pull in. And what's really cool is that sometimes we get this clarity when we do it this way, and we're like, okay, now we can add the balance. And then slowly come up. One more hip stretch. Bring the soles of the feet together for your Baddha Konasana, heels and nice and close. High lifted chest, inhale, hinge forward. Once you've got the extension, you could start to round. Maybe use your elbows and forearms against the inner thigh, the knee to open up. It's a nice stretch for the groin here. If you took my yin class this past Sunday, right, we really got into that inner thigh and the frog pose. And then slowly come up. Let's close the knees in together. One round of boat pose. We did a lot of work in the side body when we did the arm extensions and the triangle and the reverse. Lean back. Hands come behind the thighs. Float the shins. You could straighten the legs or you can keep them bent. If I straighten them, sometimes it pulls in my hip flexors, so I prefer knees bent. Arms could reach for the feet. Arms could reach up. Keep shining your heart bright for 3. Breathe in for 2 and 1. Feet down. Give yourself a hug. I cannot believe we're up to time already. Oh my goodness. Coming onto your back. It's a good thing we got in our back bends already. Just one hip stretch I want to hit before a spinal twist. You'll hug both knees in. And then go ahead and cross your right knee over your left knee. And it's going to be Gomukhasana on our back. So you've got an option to reach for your feet. And you could draw the heels to the outside of your hips right here. And you should feel a nice stretch in the right outer hip. If you want more, keep the shins parallel. Flex your feet. Almost like a pigeon sensation here. And then just reverse. Left over, right. Again, option 1, hug the heels in towards the outer hips. If you want a little more, keep the shins parallel, flex your feet, and see how that works. Again, this pose is something we do often seated, so it's nice to take this recline variation. Good, unravel that. Extend the left leg alongside your mat. Hug that right knee into the belly. Rotate the ankle in a circle. And then with your peace sign fingers, hold on to that right big toe. See if you can extend the right leg up. If you've got your strap, you could use your strap as well. And then open that right leg out. So again, just getting into the hip one more time. And what does this pose look like? Doesn't it look like when we were in our tree pose and we opened out? Right? So again, just on our back, we're working with gravity. Now bend that knee and take a spinal twist. So that knee comes across the body. The right arm opens out like a wing, and then your head looks right. The left hand kind of pulls the knee not just down, but also forward. So it's like on a diagonal for that oblique. Calming that central nervous system. Letting the breath kind of naturalize a bit. Not so much effort. And then let the head come back to center. Let the knee come back. Extend the leg up and just really slowly allow the leg to come down. And then hug that left knee in. Rotate the ankle. Well, first we did our spinal. So extend that left leg up. Peace sign fingers. I'll get to that after this. And then right hand can come to that right hip. You can open that left leg out. And just softening here, the edges, the face. More restful now. Good. Now bend the knee and take it spinal twist. So right hand to the knee. Knee crosses over the midline. The left arm is open like a wing. That way your head can look to the left. And then the head to center, that knee through center. Point the toe, extend the leg. Slowly let it come all the way down. So yogi's choice. We didn't really have an opportunity to invert. So if the body wants to go upside down, if you want to bring soles of the feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana, hands over heart and belly, arms out or above. I'm going to give you maybe 30 seconds here so you could do your happy baby. Like, what is your body requesting? Do you want legs up the wall? And time flies when you have fun, right? And then once you're ready for your final relaxation, Let the arms come down alongside the body, and then the legs extend straight. Think of yourself almost like a 5-pointed star. Feeling the energy, the Sushumna rise. You could separate your teeth. Let the eyes roll back into the skull. Soften the toes. The fingers almost curl up. You have like a pebble in between the palm of your hand. Just completely relaxed. So much so that just like the ocean, you wouldn't even know when the waves crash into one another that it is all one. The outer edges of your body touching the air to the body. And you just are. Soaking in every benefit from the practice, physically, mentally, energetically. Gently bring some movement back into the body. Fingers, toes, always a good way to start. Maybe turn the head side to side. Taking the knees into the belly. Give yourself a warm embrace. And then come up to seated in your own time. Bring the hands into your heart center as we come full circle. Bow the chin to your fingertips. Together we rise, giving back our hearts open. And I promise you, when we look for the commonalities versus the differences, it just feels better overall. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing the work. And until we meet again, namaste. So if you'd like to make a donation, I'm going to be giving 50% to SOS Children's Villages. You could Venmo me, you could send through Zelle or PayPal, just shoot me a DM after. And go do your shopping. It's great for sweets, Mindy's Munchies, so delicious. And obviously, I love Boca Fitness wear. All right, guys, see you later. Thank you.